the world of fantasy, romance, sci-fi, adventure, and more. It's time for the Author Hour, your guide to fantastic fiction, hosted by Matthew Peterson. It's a weekly visit with the masters of fiction as we meet with the top authors of today. Now, here's Matthew Peterson.
I was heavily under the influence of Tolkien when I wrote Sword of Shannara, and it shows in that particular book, but I've really gotten a long way away from Tolkien these days, and not very many people come up to me anymore and say, well, gee, you're writing an awful lot like Tolkien.
Well, that's what my bonus question was. I wanted to find out your experience with writing the Star Wars book.
I went to Skywalker Ranch and met with George. I spent about 3 hours with George discussing the project at length. He did something that is almost unheard of in the movie adaptation business, which is that he said he wanted me to write some original material for the book about Anakin Skywalker, and we discussed at length what that might be. He encouraged me to feel free to change the script and to rewrite the dialogue and to do anything else I needed to make the book successful, and in fact, really to make it a companion piece to the movie rather than just a paint-by-the-numbers rehash.
I just found out about Dungeons & Dragons, the game, and I just thought that was so neat. And they had a job up for book editor. And I applied, got the job, borrowed money from my parents, moved myself and my kids to Lake Geneva, and got there, and the check was going to take 2 weeks to clear, so we lived on my daughter's birthday money for 2 weeks. But my job as book editor, I was put in charge of the Dragonlance project, to work with this guy named Tracy Hickman.
And Tracy, your dad wasn't too keen on the idea of you taking this job.
I can remember once we had the job offer, my parents called me up on my neighbor's phone since our phone had been disconnected. And my mother cried mostly. My father said, son, don't move to Wisconsin and fail. You failed in everything you've done so far. If you fail in Wisconsin, I can't afford to bring you back.
I got a phone call from the editor. He said, I need a sidekick for Wolfgar. I told her I'd call her back the next week, and she said, no, I'm late for a meeting. I need a sidekick. And off the top of my head, I said a dark elf. I have no idea where he came from. I just said a dark elf, and there was a long pause, and she said a drow. And I said, yeah, a drow ranger. That'll be cool. No one's done that. Another long pause, and she said, there's probably a reason no one's done that, Bob. I said, no, it'll work. It'll be cool. And she finally relented and said, well, since it's just a sidekick character, I'll let you get away with it. What's his name? And I said, Dritz the Warden of Daemon the Shezbranon, the Ninth House of Menzoberranzan. Can you spell it? And I said, nope. And I don't know where it came from. It just happened, just like that.
Tell us a little bit about how you jumped on board to complete the Wheel of Time series.
I got up in the morning one day in October of 2007, stumbled downstairs to my long commute to my couch, picked up my phone to check see if anyone had called me, and lo and behold, there was a message from someone I didn't know the number of. And so I picked up my phone and I listened to it and was completely dumbfounded and shocked to hear a message from Harriet Rigney, Robert Jordan's widow, asking me if I would call her because there's something she wants to talk to me about. To be perfectly honest, my response was something along the lines of blah, blah, blah. I mean, I couldn't even talk